When the sun hammered down on thatched roofs and cobblestones, medieval peasants had no luxury of air conditioning or electric fans. Instead, they crafted simple and, sometimes, strange solutions to survive the relentless heat. Golden fields stretch endlessly beneath a blazing sun, wheat swaying dry in the warm breeze. A child wades barefoot in a shallow stream, her ragged tunic soaked and clinging to her back. Nearby, a woman's hands deftly weave rushes into a lattice fan, her straw curls flickering as she gently waves it to stir a cooling breeze. The dry rustle of straw matting beneath worn feet. The sharp hiss of cool water splashing over sun-warmed stones. The subtle, sharp tang of vinegar-soaked cloth drifting softly on the summer air. Tonight, we step into their summer world, uncovering the clever, humble hacks that helped them endure heat waves long before modern comforts. The blazing midday sun beats down on a sun-baked village green. Peasants slump beneath meager shade, their faces slick with sweat, as they seek any respite from the relentless heat. Marta, the baker, her face flushed and bruised from the scorching sun, kneads dough beneath a woven reed awning, shadows dancing softly across her arms. Nearby, Jacob, the miller, leans heavily against the water wheel, his damp clothes clinging to his skin as he cools himself by dipping his cap into the flowing mill race. Action beats. Marta carefully dips cloths into a basin of cold well water and drapes them over the bakery-s windows, drawing cooler air inside while shielding the oven's searing heat. Jacob channels the mill race water through hollowed logs to his loft, sprinkling it onto straw floors to cool the air. Outside, children roll a hollowed pumpkin packed with snow from the northern slopes, their giggles cutting through the heavy air as the sun slowly melts the icy treasure. Marta smiles softly, pressing a juicy slice of melon to her forehead, a rare, sweet luxury brought from far southern markets. Sensory detail. The muffled splash of water, the gentle rustle of reeds swaying in a faint breeze, the sticky, oppressive heat pressing on bare skin. Closing line, cut to black on Jacob's weary sigh. Even the mill stops turning in this furnace. Today, thermostats hum softly as iced lattes sweat on polished desks, and air-conditioned cars whisk us away from the heat. In sleek offices, vents pulse cool air that refreshes without effort, while the clink of ice cubes provides a small, constant comfort. These modern conveniences form an engineered shield, allowing us to retreat from summer's relentless scorch with ease. This world of precise climate control contrasts sharply with past struggles, but reflects our enduring desire for relief from heat. In stark contrast, the medieval cottage offers a fragile refuge from the sun. Smoke-dark rafters loom overhead, and sunlight filters softly through thin, worn curtains, dappling earthen floors and rush mats below. A small window opens to a lazy breeze, carrying the faint scent of smoke and earth inside. This simple shelter provides minimal comfort against the oppressive heat outside. Yet, within these humble walls, people carved out spaces of shade and quiet, relying on nature's mercy and their own resourcefulness to survive scorching days. Modern fans oscillate with programmed precision, circulating air in steady, measured patterns designed for maximum comfort. In medieval times, however, hands tirelessly waved hand-woven reed fans, each breeze a labor of love and necessity. The gentle whisper of rustling reeds contrasts with the steady hum of electric motors, symbolizing two worlds united by a shared impulse to seek relief through movement of air. Both methods honor human ingenuity, blending simplicity and technology in the quest to conquer heat. Though often dismissed as primitive, medieval peasants' no-tech cooling methods reveal cleverness, sustainability, and creativity. Water basins, shaded doorways, and woven fans form a tapestry of survival techniques that rival our modern comforts. Their solutions sprung from necessity, shaped by environment and available materials. Through a montage of cooling methods ancient and modern, we glimpse a timeless truth: human innovation thrives in the face of challenge. Crafting comfort with what is at hand, proving that survival drives ingenuity across the ages. Medieval peasants faced summer's relentless heat without the comforts of modern air conditioning, yet they transformed their environment with ingenious natural strategies. Water was carefully channeled through stone troughs and courtyard channels, where evaporative cooling lowered the temperature around homes and fields. The gentle flow of water sparkled in sunlight, dew forming on basin edges, creating an oasis of coolness in the sweltering day. As an environmental historian explains, water was more than sustenance, it was the medieval era's natural air conditioner. Architectural design amplified these natural effects. Thick, thatched overhangs shielded sun-baked walls, while earthen floors absorbed daytime heat and released coolness as night fell. High-ceiling lofts allowed hot air to rise away from living spaces, crafting comfortable microclimates within simple cottages. Cross-sections reveal airflow patterns and thermal layers where humble materials worked in harmony with nature. Vernacular architects note that this smart design made cool refuge long before any electricity hummed. Botanical allies offered living shade and fragrant relief. Sacred groves, creeping vines, climbing walls, and potted herbs perfumed the summer air with soothing scents. Sunlight filtered through leaves, dappling cool shadows on warm skin, while the soft rustle of herbs brushed hands. Ethnobotanists call these plants cooling companions and olfactory refreshers, integral to surviving the heat. Cultural rhythms further tempered the day. Midday siestas under tree shade, pilgrimages to holy wells where cool waters refreshed bodies and spirits, and dawn-held summer fairs allowed peasants to evade the sun's fiercest blaze. The hush of empty streets gave way to the splash of well water and laughter in cooler hours. Experts in architecture, history, and botany illuminate how these natural and cultural tactics intertwined to meet the challenge of medieval summers. Through water, wind, plants, and tradition, peasants turned simple homes into open-air sanctuaries. Join us as we step into the medieval summer where every breath was a victory over heat, and front porches became cool havens of survival and wisdom. Water channels carved into the earthen floors of medieval cottages and the porous nature of mud walls worked together to create a natural evaporative cooling effect. Moisture sweated from the walls and pooled in shallow troughs, releasing cool mist that lowered indoor temperatures during the oppressive summer heat. The gentle drip of water and the soft rising of mist in still air brought a subtle relief from the sweltering sun. Dr. Marcus Felton highlights, these passive systems harnessed nature's power without electricity, revealing how medieval peasants ingeniously used simple materials and natural processes to craft comfortable living spaces without modern technology. Terracotta pots filled with water stood inside homes, their porous surfaces allowing moisture to seep out and evaporate into the air, effectively lowering ambient temperatures. As water beads on the pot's surface and then evaporates, it cools the surrounding air. This simple but effective cooling method relied on the natural breathability of terracotta. The faint splash of water and the transformation of dry, warm air into a cooler breeze were common sights and sensations. Dr. Felton notes, simple materials crafted effective climate control, demonstrating how medieval ingenuity turned everyday objects into vital cooling tools. Medieval homes featured architectural designs that maximized ventilation. High, narrow windows and strategically placed smoke holes acted as natural chimneys, drawing hot air upward and out of living spaces. Thick Waterlandorb walls absorbed heat during the day, releasing it slowly at night, moderating temperature swings. Animated airflow reveals warm air escaping through chimneys, while cooler breezes entered through open windows. The soft whisper of wind through these openings brought welcome relief. These homes effectively breathed with the seasons, creating a dynamic, natural cooling system tailored to their environment. Deep, thatched eaves shielded sun-baked walls from direct sunlight, reducing heat gain. Meanwhile, thick mud walls acted as thermal mass, absorbing warmth slowly and releasing it during cooler nights. Side by side, visuals show shaded walls glowing cooler than sun-exposed surfaces, with thermal overlays emphasizing temperature differences. The rough texture of mud plaster and the fading warmth at dusk evoke the tactile and sensory aspects of this natural insulation. These features served as nature's insulation, allowing medieval homes to maintain more stable and comfortable indoor climates without mechanical aids. Green canopies of trellised vinesgrape, ivy, and other plants were planted against cottages to reduce wall temperatures by up to 20%. Sacred oak groves provided shaded communal retreats, with benches carved at root flanges inviting rest in cool, fragrant shade. Time-lapse footage shows vines climbing and spreading over walls, while villagers relax beneath ancient oaks. The rustling of leaves and fresh scents of greenery filled the air. Ethnobotanist Dr. Lena Valtonen explains. Plants served as natural air conditioners and aromatherapists, underscoring the dual cooling and sensory benefits of vegetation in medieval life. North-facing snow pits, insulated with straw, preserved ice and snow well into summer, offering a primitive but effective refrigeration method. Villagers accessed these cool stores to chill drinks and prepare medicinal poultices during the hottest days. Visuals show excavated snow pits and strentylated ice blocks, with villagers fetching cool water. The crunch of ice and the crisp bite of cold water invigorated weary bodies. This early form of refrigeration exemplified medieval resourcefulness in harnessing natural cold to combat summer heat. Social practices synchronized daily life with the natural climate. Church bells signaled midday siestas, encouraging communal rest during the sun's peak heat. Food preparation was concentrated at dawn and dusk, minimizing indoor heat production. Village scenes depict clock towers ringing, peasants resting in shaded spots, and kitchens illuminated by soft morning light. The tolling bell and murmured quietude create a rhythmic pause in labor. These social rhythms adapted human activity to nature's clock, blending culture and climate for sustainable survival. Architects and ethnobotanists emphasized that medieval homes and landscapes were carefully engineered passive climate systems. Interviews with Dr. Marcus Felton and Dr. Lena Valtonen highlight how simple, low-tech solutions achieved high-efficiency comfort. 3D models showcase airflow patterns and thermal zones, illustrating the interplay of water, vegetation, and building design. Their insights reveal the sophistication behind medieval environmental adaptations, turning humble cottages into effective sanctuaries against summer heat. A vivid 3D thermal model animates a medieval courtyard, highlighting cool blue zones where water troughs and leafy canopies create pockets of relief amid sunlit warmth. The whisper of a gentle breeze and the shimmer of shade evoke a natural oasis crafted through knowledge and care. This dance of sun and shadow reveals how medieval ingenuity transformed survival into an art form. reminding us that effective climate adaptation long predates modern technology. The first pale light of dawn stretches across endless fields of golden barley, shimmering gently under a mist that rises from narrow irrigation ditches winding through the landscape. The air is cool and moist, filled with the subtle, earthy aroma of damp soil and fresh growth. Villagers begin to stir, their quiet footsteps mingling with the gentle gurgle of water as it courses through carved stone channels. The world feels still and expectant, a fragile calm before the relentless heat of midday. Birds sing softly as the sky gradually brightens, casting long shadows that slowly retreat with the rising sun. This moment marks the transition from night to day, where nature's rhythms guide the village's daily life. Each breath seems woven into the earth's slow pulse, a reminder of the enduring bond between human toil and the natural world. Before the sun climbs too high, Marta works diligently within the shadowed confines of her bakery. Her flour-dusted hands move deftly, kneading dough into soft, pliable loaves that will feed her community through the day. The warm glow from a stone oven flickers across her face, illuminating the fine lines etched by years of early mornings and hard work. The crackling fire fills the room with a steady warmth, while the scent of rising yeast swells into the cool morning air. Marta's movements are rhythmic and purposeful, bound tightly to the natural clock of the village. She races against the heat, knowing the oven will soon become an unbearable furnace. Outside, the village awakens, but within this humble hearth, Marta is the silent guardian of sustenance, her labor a vital thread in the fabric of daily survival. Jakob stands at the edge of the mill courtyard, where crystal-clear water courses steadily through channels he has carved into the stone floor. The cool stream pools gently, reflecting morning light and sending a fine mist into the air. As Jakob wipes the sweat from his brow, the refreshing spray cools his skin, offering a brief respite from the rising heat. The rhythmic splash of water against stone becomes a soothing soundtrack to the village's awakening. The mill's great wheel turns steadily, powered by the same water that now cools the courtyard, symbolizing the deep connection between work and environment. Jakob's presence here embodies this balance, a harmony between human ingenuity and nature's quiet gifts. This simple, flowing water is more than refreshment. It is a lifeline, tempering the day's scorch and sustaining the mill's vital rhythm. In a shaded garden nook, Ellen carefully gathers fragrant bundles of mint, lavender, and rosemary, her fingers deftly selecting the freshest leaves. The air is rich with herbal scents, a cool, sweet aroma that promises relief from summer's heat. With practiced hands, she crushes the herbs gently, infusing thin cloth fans with their cooling essence. These fans, woven from rushes and scented with the crushed herbs, are the village's portable breezes, wafting freshness through open doorways and across sun-baked rooms. Ellen's craft is both practical and sacred, a tradition passed down through generations. As she fans herself, the rustle of fabric blends with the soft hum of insects and distant chatter. The herbal fragrance drifts on the breeze, mingling with the earth's warmth, creating a sensory refuge, a small oasis of nature's medicine and comfort in the relentless summer day. Olaf moves with steady purpose, guiding his flock of sheep toward a clear freshwater pool nestled beneath a grove of ancient beech trees. The sheep wade carefully into the shallow water, dipping their fleeces to cool their bodies and trigger evaporative chill. The gentle splash of hooves stirs the water, sending ripples that catch the light like scattered diamonds. Olaf finds shade beneath the broad leaves, the coolness soothing his sun-warmed skin. The soft rustle of leaves overhead and the occasional bleat create a peaceful soundtrack to this ritual. This daily act is a lifeline for the flock and shepherd alike, a moment of shared relief and restoration. Through this simple interaction with nature, Olaf maintains a vital bond with the land and his animals, a partnership of care forged by centuries of understanding the rhythms of summer's heat. As the church bell tolls noon, signaling the village's collective pause, villagers retreat from the blistering sun to seek refuge in cool cellars and shaded groves. Oak benches carved from twisted roots provide resting places where bodies can relax and minds find quiet. Water-soaked rush mats cool the earthen floors, and porous clay cups filled with spring water sweat gently, offering refreshing sips. The air is hushed, punctuated only by the soft breath of those resting and the occasional whisper of a breeze stirring leaves. This shared siesta is a vital cultural rhythm, a moment to replenish strength and protect health during the hottest hours. It reflects a deep understanding of the natural world's demands and the wisdom of communal rest. Here, the village pauses, held in the gentle embrace of shade and water, united in quiet endurance. By afternoon, the market has shifted to the cool embrace of the riverbank, where merchants set up stalls beneath spreading trees. Vendors display half melons, glistening with fresh cuts, their juices promising sweet relief. Reed baskets carry frosty mead, carefully chilled with water and shade. The air buzzes with lively barter, laughter, and the murmur of friendly conversation. Customers sip cool drinks, their faces flushed from the sun, but softened by the shade and breeze. The steady splash of flowing water mingles with the scents of ripe fruit and fresh foliage, creating an atmosphere both vibrant and soothing. This riverside market is not just commerce, it is a communal gathering, a festive pause in the day's labor, where and social connection intertwine beneath the cooling canopy of summer leaves. From a carefully insulated snow pit hidden on the northern hillside, Marta retrieves blocks of compressed snow, still cold despite the summer sun. She crushes the snow finely, mixing it with sweet berries to create a frozen granita, rare luxury that sends shivers of delight through those lucky enough to taste it. The icy crystals glisten in wooden tubs, catching the fading light as villagers gather to savor this chilly respite. The crunch of snow under teeth contrasts sharply with the sweet burst of berry flavor, a moment of joy born from ingenuity and resourcefulness. Marta's frozen treat is more than refreshment. It is a symbol of hope and celebration, a cool oasis carved out of the heat by tradition and care, treasured as a reprieve in the village's relentless summer. As daylight wanes and temperatures begin to drop, villagers turn to essential maintenance tasks. Hands deftly weave bundles of straw, repairing and extending thick thatched eaves designed to shield homes from the harsh sun. Lanterns cast a warm glow over weathered faces and focused eyes, while the scent of dry straw mingles with the crisp evening air. The work is communal, a rhythmic dance of cooperation that both protects the village and reinforces social bonds. Every stitch of thatch laid is a promise of shelter against the coming day's heat, a tangible preparation rooted in generations of experience. The interplay of light and shadow, effort and rest, creates a moment suspended between day and nighttime when the community's resilience is both built and celebrated. Women gather at the village well to wash linens, their laughter and chatter mingling with the splash of water and the scrubbing of fabric. The cool river water refreshes hands and cloth alike, offering a tactile contrast to the day's heat. Herbal scents mint, lavender drift softly on the breeze as crushed leaves are occasionally rubbed into fabrics. The sparkle of sunlight dances on the rippling water, reflecting joyous faces and playful moments. This communal washing is both practical and social, intertwining cleanliness and relief. It is a ritual of renewal, where the physical act of washing becomes a moment of shared care and cool reprieve, binding villagers through shared labor and seasonal rhythms. Under the soft glow of a full moon, the village gathers on the green for communal feasting. Long wooden tables grown under platters of food, illuminated by flickering lanterns and the silvery light above. Voices rise in laughter and song, stories weaving through the night air. Nearby, sprinkling troughs cool the pens where animals rest after their day's labor, the gentle mist settling like a balm in the evening air. The night breeze carries the mingled scents of roasted meats, fresh herbs, and the cool earth. This gathering is a celebration of endurance and community, a shared ritual honoring the day's end and the promise of rest and renewal beneath the stars. As the night deepens, Jacob and Ellen quietly collect sprigs of mint and lavender, preparing herbs for the next day's cooling rituals. Their hands move with practiced care, the crisp scent of crushed leaves rising around them. Shadows stretch long across the village paths as the two move between garden beds and wild patches. This peaceful ritual is a bridge between day and night, a quiet continuation of the cycle of care that sustains the village through the harsh summer. The act honors tradition, ensuring that the wisdom of natural remedies and cooling scents passes from one generation to the next, a living thread woven into the fabric of daily life. As the villagers lean back against sturdy oak trunks, faces lifted toward the twinkling first stars, a collective sigh of relief ripples through the group. The oppressive heat of the day finally gives way to the cool embrace of night. The rustle of leaves whispers softly in the gentle breeze, while distant night birds call into the quiet darkness. In this serene moment, the community breathes as one, bound together by shared effort, wisdom, and tradition. Their survival is not merely a matter of endurance, but a celebration of ingenuity and connection. For another day, heat has been conquered not through force, but through respect for nature's rhythms and the timeless knowledge handed down through generations. At the heart of the village, a carved wooden circle beneath a canopy of leafy branches becomes a sanctuary against the summer blaze. Villagers gather hearing and old, alike seeking refuge in the dappled shade. Weathered benches, worn smooth by generations, cradle weary bodies as soft shadows dance upon the wooden planks. The air is filled with the gentle rustle of leaves, mingling with murmurs of shared stories and laughter. In this cool oasis, social barriers momentarily fade. Neighbors exchange news, children chase fleeting shadows, and elders recall seasons past. The circle serves as a living testament to community resilience, a space where relief from heat becomes relief through connection. Here, beneath the comforting green, the village pulses with life, resting and recharging together, bound by rhythm and ritual in the face of relentless sun. The day begins with ritual. As dawn's light filters softly through cottage windows, hands knead dough in quiet blessing. The scent of rising bread fills the cool morning air, signaling nourishment both physical and spiritual. This early act of creation sets the tone, a sacred offering to the day ahead. Later, as the sun ascends to its zenith, church bells toll, their solemn peals reverberating through empty streets and open fields alike. Work halts. The village embraces a shared pause, a siesta marked by stillness and shade. This communal rest is more than respite, it is a ritualized cadence, binding the community in collective renewal. Villagers retreat to cool cellars, shaded groves, or beneath sprawling oaks, their breaths deep and slow. In these moments, time slows, and the oppressive heat becomes a shared challenge met with quiet grace. Through bread and bell, The village lives in harmony with the sun's unyielding journey. Water is precious a resource, carefully governed by village elders who oversee the mill race and its cooling waters. Stone dividers guide clear streams, directing life-giving flow through troughs where villagers patiently await their turn. The gentle splash of water breaks the midday silence as hands dip cloths, faces, and cups into the cool embrace. Negotiations are unspoken but understood, a delicate balance of need and fairness ensuring no one is left parched. Here, water becomes more than a substance, it is a symbol of community, trust, and shared survival. The ritual of water use fosters social cohesion, reminding all that relief from heat is a collective gift. As the liquid soothes sunburned skin and cools heated earth, it also nourishes bonds between neighbors, affirming that in the village, every drop counts and every act of sharing strengthens the social fabric. In quiet corners, families guard ancient secrets, recipes for herb blends that infuse fans with nature's own coolness. Mint, lavender, and rosemary are harvested at dawn, their leaves crushed and woven into cloth to create fragrant breezes that chase away the heat. These fans are more than tools. They are heirlooms, passed from mother to daughter with care and reverence. The scent of crushed herbs carries stories, whispers of ancestors and rituals long cherished. Near open windows, generations gather, fanning themselves and each other in rhythmic motion, the soft rustle of fabric blending with fragrant exhales. This fragrant ritual connects past and present, weaving nature's bounty into daily life. The cooling breeze becomes a symbol of resilience and continuity, a sensory reminder that the village's survival depends as much on shared knowledge as on water and shade. As shadows lengthen beneath ancient trees, the oppressive heat draws nobles and peasants alike to the same cool sanctuaries. In the shade, social ranks dissolves, the laughter of children mingles with the quiet repose of elders and the soft murmurs of those who govern. This shared refuge under the spreading branches becomes a rare space of equality, where titles and wealth momentarily yield to the simple human need for relief. The cool air, thick with the scent of earth and leaves, binds the community in unspoken solidarity. Here, beneath the forgiving canopy, the village breathes as one, united not by privilege but by circumstance. This egalitarian gathering reflects a profound truth. Adversity and necessity forge connections that transcend status, reminding all that beneath the sun, survival and comfort are common causes. Dr. Sigrid Martinson, a cultural psychologist, sheds light on the profound social role of these shared cooling rituals. She explains, in the face of relentless heat, communal practices become acts of solidarity, weaving individual struggles into collective resilience. The rituals, whether resting together under leafy arbors, sharing water rights, or crafting fragrant fans, are more than survival strategies. They are social glue. Through synchronized rest and shared resource management, villagers reinforce bonds of trust and mutual care. Dr. Martinson notes that these practices transform environmental hardship into opportunities for community building, strengthening social fabric across generations. Visuals accompany her insights: villagers laughing together, elders negotiating water usage, families passing down herbal knowledge, highlighting how cultural rhythms shape identity. This interplay between environment, ritual, and psychology reveals how medieval communities turned heat's challenge into a source of unity and strength. Beyond physical relief, these cooling practices embody an ethic of communal care. Neighbors watch over the vulnerable, the elderly, children, and those weakened by the heat, offering cool water, shaded seats, and gentle fanning. Scenes unfold of hands tenderly passing fans, offering sips from shared cups, and guiding one another to the nearest cool spot. These acts transform the harshness of summer into moments of human connection and compassion. The soft touch of a hand, the refreshing droplets of water, become symbols of care and solidarity. Such practices foster emotional well-being as much as physical comfort, knitting the community into a web of mutual support. Here, heat becomes a catalyst for kindness, a reminder that survival is not solitary but communal. Through these shared gestures, villagers affirm that caring for each other is as vital as any cooling breeze or shaded grove. As dusk settles over the village green, the collective ingenuity of generations stands revealed, not just in the clever cooling hacks, but in the rituals that bind people together. The fading warmth wraps around figures resting beneath oaks. Children chase fading shadows, while elders sit quietly, their faces etched with stories of summers past. The rustle of leaves and distant cricket song create a serene backdrop to this timeless scene. This legacy of cooling is more than a response to it is a tapestry woven of care, ceremony, and shared survival. Each shade-giving tree, every scented fan, and communal water channel tells a story of connection and resilience. In these acts, medieval villagers found not only comfort but also community, a reminder that the heart of human endurance beats strongest when shared. Cooling was never just necessity. It was the village's soul. Beneath the simple floors of medieval cottages ran a hidden marvel, clay pipes, channeling fresh spring water beneath living spaces. This cool water conducted heat away from stone and earthen surfaces, creating a gentle, natural chill that villagers could feel beneath their feet. The soft splash of flowing water echoed quietly, a secret comfort against the oppressive summer heat above. Villagers knew well the refreshing relief these cool floors provided after long hours in the sun, as Dr. Marcus Felton explains. This early passive cooling system was ingeniously concealed beneath everyday life. Harnessing nature's power without electricity or machinery, it was a subtle, elegant solution, a dance of water and stone that turned humble homes into cool refuges. The lost wisdom of these subterranean channels reveals medieval life was not merely rustic survival, but an artful mastery of climate control long before modern technology. The gleam of village walls was no accident. Lime plaster, dusted with fine marble particles, created a bright white surface that bounced sunlight away, dramatically reducing heat absorption. Under the blazing sun, these whitewashed walls shimmered, reflecting light and radiating a cool glow that softened the intensity of the day. Up close, marble dust scattered the sun's rays in countless tiny prisms, an ancient sunscreen applied with care. Dr. Ingrid Falk notes, this was a simple yet highly effective method to keep homes cooler long before the advent of painted sunscreens or reflective coatings. The crisp scent of lime carried on warm breezes, signaling both protection and purity. This reflective coating was more than decoration. It was functional brilliance, turning every village house into a beacon of relief. The radiant walls stand as silent witnesses to medieval ingenuity, transforming light into life-giving coolness. Within the lofts of medieval homes, narrow vertical shafts acted as early ventilation systems, thermal chimneys that drew scorching air upward, releasing it high above the rooftops. Hot air, lighter and restless, was coaxed to rise naturally through these shafts, preventing it from stagnating in living spaces below. This airflow created a continuous cycle, inviting fresh, cooler air to replace rising heat, while smoke and cooking fumes escaped effortlessly. The whisper of wind through these shafts was a constant hum of comfort, Dr. Felton explains. These thermal chimneys represent a remarkable understanding of natural ventilation and natural, ventilation and knowledge of how to harness convection to improve indoor climates. Villagers enjoyed homes that breathed with the seasons, where summer heat was expelled with grace. This vertical dance of air, hidden above daily life, was a cornerstone of passive comfort and a testament to forgotten architectural brilliance. Roofs thick with moss were not mere decoration but vital cooling allies. Kept moist by fresh spring water, moss acted as a living air conditioner, its evaporation drawing heat away from attic ceilings and keeping interiors pleasantly cool. On warm days, gentle steam rose from moss-laden thatch, a subtle hiss marking nature's quiet work. The earthy scent of damp moss mingled with the warmth of the sun, creating a sensory tapestry of relief. Dr. Falk observes, this biological cooling blanket was both sustainable and nourishing. Moss preserved moisture while providing insulation. Villagers carefully tended their mossy roofs, understanding that its health meant cooler homes. This ancient strategy shows a harmony with nature, using living materials to temper climate extremes. The moss roofs stand as green testaments to an eco-conscious past, where cooling was rooted in the very fabric of life. Beneath the village soil lay another secret: subterranean cisterns that stored cold water through the heat of summer. These vaulted chambers, insulated by earth and straw, preserved snow and ice gathered during winter, creating reservoirs of coolness for domestic use. Excavations revealed dark, damp spaces where water glistened in faint torchlight, quiet sanctuaries of refreshment. The cool, damp air of these cisterns offered a reprieve, not only from heat but from scarcity. Water drawn from these reserves was used to cool drinks, treat wounds, and moisten cloths, linking survival with ritual. As one expert reflects, these cisterns were forgotten reservoirs of comfort, testaments to the villagers' foresight and resourcefulness. The layered insulation and clever construction ensured that the cold endured long after snow had melted above. These hidden chambers hold stories of resilience, where stored coolness meant life sustained against relentless sun. The genius of medieval cooling lay not in isolated tricks, but in a harmonious integration of methods. Water channels, reflective whitewash, thermal chimneys, moss roofs, and cisterns formed a network of cooling strategies working in concert. Animated models reveal this interplay: cool water flowing beneath floors, sunlight bouncing off white walls, hot air spiraling up chimney shafts, evaporating moss cooling attics, stored ice ready for use. Together, these elements created proto-passive houses, buildings that maintained comfort without energy input. Dr. Felton emphasizes, this integrated approach is a remarkable example of sustainable design, centuries ahead of its time. It reflects a holistic understanding of environment and architecture, where each component amplified the other's effect. This network of lost techniques transformed humble homes into climate-smart sanctuaries, proving that medieval ingenuity and ecological harmony were inseparable partners in enduring comfort. Today, researchers are uncovering and reviving these lost cooling arts, inspiring modern sustainable architecture. Interviews with architects and environmental engineers showcase lab tests on lime plaster, reflectivity, and airflow simulations tracing ancient ventilation paths. The scratch of chalk on scale models and the hum of digital computers accompany these discoveries. Dr. Falk explains, medieval cooling techniques offer valuable lessons for today's climate challenges: how to create comfort without energy waste. These insights challenge assumptions about medieval life, revealing sophisticated ecological knowledge hidden beneath rustic appearances. By studying these ancient methods, designers aim to blend tradition with innovation, crafting homes that honor past wisdom while meeting future needs. The rediscovery of these systems stands as a bridge across time, reminding us that sustainable comfort has deep roots in human history and that old solutions may hold keys to new sustainability. As twilight descends, a slow animation pans through a cross-section of a medieval village home. Water courses gently beneath floors, air spirals upward through chimney shafts. Sunlight reflects off bright, whitewashed walls, and moss blankets the roof in living green. Villagers are seen walking barefoot on cool stones, resting beneath shaded eaves, and breathing deep of the fresh, herbal-scented breeze. The soft murmur of flowing water blends with the gentle sigh of wind, crafting a sensory symphony of comfort and relief. This dance of natural cooling reveals a lost art, a harmonious blend of water, air, light, and living materials. It is a legacy rediscovered, reminding us that long before electricity, medieval villages mastered climate with wisdom and grace. In these quiet moments, history breathes anew, teaching us sustainable comfort remains not only possible but beautifully within reach. In contemporary eco-villages, rain gardens gently capture runoff, channeling water back into the earth to recharge subsoil, moisture reviving, an ancient practice once vital to medieval cooling and agriculture. These lush gardens teem with native plants that thrive in carefully crafted microclimates. Shaded courtyards offering respite from the sun's glare. The soft drip of rainwater trickling into channels and the fresh scent of damp earth fill the air, inviting community members to tend and gather among the greenery. Environmental planner Dr. Emma Clark notes, these systems echo centuries-old knowledge, showing how natural cycles can be harnessed for sustainable living today. Through blending ancient wisdom with modern ecological design, these villages create harmonious spaces where water sustains both life and comfort, proving that past innovations hold the key to future resilience. Modern earth-bermed homes nestle partially beneath the ground, their thick walls and roofs blending seamlessly into the landscape, offering insulation and thermal mass reminiscent of medieval mud cottages. Wind towers rise above rooftops, channeling fresh breezes through narrow shafts that cool interior spaces naturally. Open windows and strategically placed vents allow air to flow freely, mirroring the seasonal breath of bygone homes. The whisper of wind passing through these features creates a soothing hum, while the earthy coolness of sun-baked walls provides a constant comfort. Architect Dr. Lars Sturgard reflects, passive house standards owe a debt to Waterland Dob wisdom. Medieval builders mastered natural ventilation and thermal regulation long before modern engineering. This revival of age-old principles in cutting-edge design reveals a timeless approach, working with nature's elements rather than against them to achieve comfort sustainably. Evaporative cooling remains a cornerstone of climate control. From medieval village clay pot chillers to today's sophisticated cooling towers, both rely on water's silent power-absorbing heat as it evaporates, chilling the air around it. Modern towers release fine mists that draw warmth from surrounding air, creating refreshing breezes in urban heat islands. Traditional clay pots, still used in some regions, slowly seep moisture through their porous walls, cooling the air within homes just as medieval peasants experienced. The gentle hiss of evaporating water and the crisp, cool air it produces evoke an ancient rhythm, refined by technology but rooted deeply in history. Experts agree this is a timeless technique, blending natural physics with human ingenuity, proving that sometimes the simplest solutions withstand the test of time. Skyscrapers wrapped in verdant ivy and rooftops, bursting with gardens, are the modern heirs to medieval vine trellises that shaded cottages and village streets. These living walls and green roofs cool urban spaces by shading surfaces, reducing heat absorption, and releasing moisture through transpiration. The rustle of leaves and sweet scent of blossoms soften city sounds, bringing nature's calm amid concrete jungles. Environmental planner Dr. Clark remarks, plants remain vital in combating urban heat islands, connecting us to the natural world even in the busiest metropolises. By mimicking the green canopies of old, urban greening initiatives bring breathable, fragrant life back into spaces where heat often rules. These growing ecosystems not only cool but enrich community well-being, echoing the age-old symbiosis of plants and people. In some Mediterranean towns, siestas endure as vital communal rituals, midday pauses where streets empty, shops close, and families retreat to shaded courtyards or fountain-lined plazas. These rhythms, echoing medieval rest patterns, synchronize life with nature's heat cycles. The murmur of flowing water and the cool shade beneath stone arches provide sanctuary from the sun's peak. Families gather by fountains, sharing stories and cooling themselves with handheld fans scented with herbs, a fragrant reminder of ancient cooling traditions. This cultural revival reflects not only practical respite, but a shared understanding that relief from heat is a communal experience. The simple act of resting together binds communities, fostering resilience and social cohesion. These rhythms reveal how historic rituals adapt, offering both comfort and connection in a warming world. Architects and environmental planners increasingly look to medieval cooling hacks as models for sustainable, scalable solutions. Interviews reveal how lime whitewash, natural ventilation, and evaporative cooling inspired designs that reduce energy dependence and enhance comfort. Dr. Emma Clark explains, ancient wisdom offers sustainable blueprints, demonstrating how simple materials and designs can mitigate heat effectively. Architect Dr. Lars Sturgard adds, passive design principles, deeply rooted in vernacular architecture, remain some of the most efficient strategies for climate resilience. These experts underscore that past innovations are not relics but living lessons, relevant to today's urgent challenges. Their insights encourage blending traditional knowledge with modern technology to create buildings that respect the environment and human well-being and architectural dialogue across centuries. Bridging history and future. Our modern reliance on electricity-intensive air conditioning contrasts starkly with medieval passive cooling systems. Power plants belch smoke, while urban heat maps reveal sweltering city centers dependent on energy-heavy grids. The hum of machines fills air-conditioned spaces, disconnected from natural rhythms. Meanwhile, shaded courtyards and reflective walls offer silent, zero-energy relief, reminders of a balanced coexistence with climate. This stark contrast calls attention to sustainability gaps and the environmental costs of comfort. It is a wake-up call to rethink how we cool our homes and cities. By revisiting and adapting ancient cooling techniques, we can reduce emissions, conserve resources, and foster more harmonious living environments. This balance of old and new promises a future where comfort no longer sacrifices the planet. From humble thatched roofs to gleaming green buildings, the legacy of cooling blends culture, design, and nature. The soft breeze rustling leaves on medieval vine trellises meets the shimmer of solar-reflective walls in modern eco-homes. This continuity reveals cooling as an art that transcends machinery, a dance of sun and shade, water and air, light and leaf. As twilight falls over villages ancient and new, the soft murmur of natural cooling whispers timeless wisdom. This ancient blueprint offers more than relief. It teaches resilience and respect for our environment. In the unfolding climate crisis, these lessons from the past guide us forward, reminding us that sustainable comfort is possible, beautiful, and within our grasp. As the sun sets over a cooling courtyard, glimmers of water trace the ancient channels carved long ago, reflecting the fading light. Vines heavy with dew drip gently, casting soft shadows over villagers reclining in the welcoming shade. This is a world where cooling came not from machines, but from Earth's own rhythms, water's steady flow, and generations of harvest wisdom. Their simple craftswater channels, leafy arbors, and carefully tended gardens were lifelines against the relentless summer sun. Marta, the village baker, closes her wood-fired oven with a satisfied sigh, placing a final jug of herb-infused sparkling water into the well. Nearby, a modern eco-designer walks through a passive cool building, pausing to smile at features that echo those age-old techniques: shaded courtyards, natural ventilation, and water-cooled floors. Across centuries, the wisdom endures. In their summer survival lies our future. The narration reflects softly. Sustainable cooling, rooted in nature's cycles and communal ingenuity, offers hope against rising heat. As the evening deepens, the voice invites. Next heatwave, remember their crafts. Let earth, water, and green shade revive your home, just as they did centuries ago. The final shot lingers on a trickle of water running over mossy stones. The timeless pulse of medieval streams flowing quietly onward, eternal, cool in living motion.